Hello almighty gamers, and welcome back to a brand new video here on the channel. So you may or may not know, I like making games. And like 1 year ago I started my journey with Game Maker Studio 2. I've improved a lot over the past year, and now I'm even working on my dream game, but that is a secret for now. About a month ago I asked the question, how far can I push rollback multiplayer? And that is how we got here. Wait, how did we get here? So basically, rollback multiplayer is a built-in multiplayer system in GMS2, and I've made a few games with it, fairly small ones to be honest, fairly bad ones to be honest, and I haven't seen anybody else push it like I am about to do, and maybe that is for a good reason. This is where the chaos starts. Buckle up, cause this is a wild ride. And the story in this game is that you are stuck in a coma, and the only way to escape is to beat your dark memories alongside your friends. Simple, right? Right? So first I set up the multiplayer, boring. Then I made this cool main menu and the lobby, which I like to call the mind space. But then came the first issue. The multiplayer was not working online. I struggled for sleepless nights trying to fix it, but nothing worked. I then started posting on every site I could think of. I got some answers, and it seemed like everyone was having this issue. I then got in contact with Russell at GMS2 support team. He said that they would look into it, so I waited, and waited. Then finally came the notification. The fix. But for it to work, I had to travel back in time, so that I could make the game in an old beta version of GMS2, where it did work. There. The issue is fixed and work can be restarted. After that gruesome issue defeated, I could keep grinding. I set up some basic HUD and fixed some stuff, and then I was ready to make the first level. The levels in this game are called memories, and each one has its own color palette to mix in what emotion is trying to be portrayed. And they are basically super difficult challenges you have to get through, and if you perform well enough, you get to move on. And if not, you must restart and do it better. I suck at making pixel art, so I just made this super simple tile set and art style. I added some post-processing effects to make it look good, and voila, here is the finished product. It looks hecka nice. Then I did some programming to make it all work, and boom, you can go from the mind space to the memory, but only the host can select the memory. Since this memory was called Panic, I bought a humongous wall chasing the players, and they must quickly navigate through the maze of corridors. No, not that wall, this wall. It looks like caca, but that is fine. Okay, maybe not that fast. No. Okay, that is a good speed. And there, the basics of the first level is done. Let's get to work on world building. I started off by searching for a better font and ended up with this one. Pretty good. I then got to work on one of the biggest features ever to the game. Abilities. Each player in your lobby gets their own ability, and they make the challenges a bit easier. Once an ability has been used, it will take around 20 seconds to recharge. Here is for example the stun ability. Once hitting an enemy, it will stun them for 5 seconds, and it is really helpful in the panic memory. I also added this HUD to go with it. It shows when your ability is ready. I just thought that these would make the game more fun and replayable, and if you use these to make coordinated attacks, they can really pack a punch. After that, I got to work on making a sort of death system. Once you die, you will drop this strange essence, then the player with the healer ability will be able to revive you. If all players die, you lose. I'm super proud over how far this game has come, and it is actually starting to take shape now. After all of that out of the way, I think it's time we start actually making the memory. So I changed up the AI on this scrap eater, that is what I call this wall monster. And I changed his AI so that he will go up and down repeatedly. And instead of trying to run upwards, I wanted to be some sort of co-op puzzle in the middle that you must solve together to unlock the exits. And oh, that is not good. This is where another big issue comes in, of course. Do you see how incredibly laggy it becomes after a while? It just keeps getting slower and slower and slower. I struggled for hours trying to fix it, but nothing worked. That is until I found a fix. First of all, the code for the scrap eater was quite messy, so I cleaned it up to be faster. And I also made it so that you have to hide in these pockets, as the scrap keeper is super fast. Making the scrap keeper faster seemed to make it less laggy, but over time it still got super laggy. Then I came to the conclusion that the more players in the game, the more laggy it becomes. So I tried it with 2 players and it worked super fast. So this does mean that only 2 players can play the game, so it's quite a bummer. But if it's the only way, then we have to choose it. I will try to look into it once I fully release this game. After that issue defeated, I upgraded the mind space a bit. So now you can go here to choose which ability you want, and I think it turned out great. Oh, and I changed the font again.
Ah, okay. Oh! Ah! Thank you!
Whoa, calm down, Jamal. Don't pull out the 9.